Welcome back to another one of my C4 projects. I covered this earlier on another one, but it was never really a step-by-step instruction how to do it. And I actually found somebody on Facebook C4 site has similar problem that I had, and I kind of directed them to my site, but the problem is it's not really a really good example of what I did. So what I did is I had another throttle body that I tore down to the point where I'm putting it back together. Then I'm going to link it to the kid that was asking about it and see if this helps him out at all or anybody else. So this is what I have broken down, and I'm going to kind of explain how I took it apart a little bit and how to put it back together. So here we go, the flippy-roo. There you go, the whole system. The body itself, you have the throttle rod, springs, that actually return springs. Up over here, got on a magnet. Where is it? The 4 little screws that hold the valve plates. These little dudes here undo the shaft here. And those little washers here, as you see, are going to go on at the end of this. And you got to put this piece, remember how I deal with it, right here. This piece back on. The problem I found is you're going to have to weld it back on. There's a couple small spot welds. This here actually controls your throttle position sensor. So, you take a 1/2-inch drill bit. You're already going to have a small recess down here, and you're going to just drill it out a little bit. I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch. I'm trying to see if I can get a better... But you're not drilling all the way through it unless you choose to. I prefer not to. I'm just trying to take some of that throttle slop. If you see the first video on it, I show it a lot better. And what you're going to do, take a brass bushing that's a 1/2-inch diameter. You're going to cut it roughly the diameter, sorry, not diameter, the width of that you need as a collar. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take that, you're going to press it back into here. And once that's in there, you can put the rest of it back together. It's really easy. But it's going to be a little bit of compression. So my mistake was, when I did mine, which is back on the car, is it works fine, but when the car heats up, the throttle will stick. So what I'm going to do is, once I put this back in here, you use a 3/8 to drill it out all the way through. So this rod here, the 3/8 rod, will go through. And I think what happens is the bronze or the brass has a tendency to heat up and expand a lot more than the aluminum does. That's where I think my original problem is. So what I'm going to do, when I put this piece back into here, I got another drill bit. It's a 64th bigger. I'm going to just ream that part out a little bit to give a little bit play where room for expansion, and hopefully I'll be okay. Now the other thing is, when I took it apart, where are my little screws? I don't need everything sticking to it. These are T8 heads on them. So they're very small, but you got some thread on them. If you look on the shaft, when they originally come from the factory, you see the holes in the threads where they go into. I don't think it's solder. I think they do some kind of a weird, but it looks like solder, but it's not. I don't know what it is, but it's hard as hell to friggin' file off. Once you stick your T8 in there, just twist it slowly, like you're trying to loosen them up. They will snap loose off from the initial weld, and they'll come right out, no problem. I did not have a file to file the bits off. You can see right about here, 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 and here. There's a little bump in there that will not slide through the body because it's a round hole, and you're trying to put a peg through it, and it ain't working, a square peg. To get a file, I don't have one at the time. I had to make do and make it work. You just get rid of those, then it should slide out. Then I take the end of it, take it apart, and I just grind this, basically what it is. You see right here, it just goes to a machine and it presses it, and it mushrooms around it. Same thing on that. And what you have to do is you got to take a grinder, you got to grind that mushroom part off, and then that piece will pop off. Providing you got the little nubbies loose, the thing should just slide right out of there, no problem. So basically that's the breakdown of it. Again, just drill it out a little bit of the 1/2-inch drill bit, go down a 1/4 inch, make a 1/4 inch sleeve, press it in there, and I'm going to go another size bigger than 3/8, which is a, if I can get that out of the way, is a 25/64, and that should give me enough room. So for thermal expansion, I'm not going to have the throttle stick. I'm going to try to go on the car itself and see if I can demonstrate it a little better. That's the one I originally did. It's not a, I can't, then it goes. So it just sticks. And when the car is hot, you can feel it with your foot and it will not return all the way. So hopefully the second one I have and what I'm going to do with it next should fix it. So put it all back together, put your valve plates back in. I'll definitely use high strength thread lock. Then when that's all done, put your throttle position sensor. It's the rod that activates it and works it. Put it back on. Tack weld it in a couple places. You might have to grind a little bit when you put your throttle position sensor on. It might bottom out on it, but you can make it work if you're handy enough. And that should be able to fix that slop at the throttle plate when the aluminum just wears over time with the use of the car. Alrighty, that's it. Hopefully it explains a little bit more.